Hi, Piper and Jocelyn. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow being Monday, May 11th. So if I see you, that'll be wonderful. And if not, I hope you get a chance to see this video. And I'm looking at a lesson for all of page 24. So we're going to start on 91, and I'm going to talk you through some of the new things that they're teaching us on this page. So starting at the top, an articulation, and we've talked about articulation. So an articulation just means, first of all, tonguing, or however you're going to play the note specifically. An accent, which is that little kind of sideways V, is an articulation that tells you that the note should be played with a stronger attack. So if I were going to play it with a soft attack, if I were going to play it with a stronger attack, I would use my tongue and I would play it with a stronger attack, with a stronger articulation. So I'm going to go through 91, which is Chester, and I'm going to play those marked accents. I'm going to play the breathing marks that are indicated in the music. It looks like they're just every two measures. And I'm going to observe the dynamics. It starts mezzo forte and then it becomes forte about halfway through. So here's Chester. 1, 2, 3. So mezzo forte, medium loud, and then loud. Okay, so in the next box I see a one measure repeat sign, which is a handy thing. Instead of writing the same notes multiple times, you can do a sign that means repeat the previous measure. So we have one coming up in this next piece, where I see in measure 5, we've got an accented F and a slur to a C. And then the next measure is just repeat the previous measure. And they're also talking about eighth note rests, but I'm going to talk to you about those when we get to 93, because 92 doesn't have any of those. But I will do the repeat the previous measure. So here we go, marching along. So I did it twice because there was a repeat sign at the end. Okay, so now in the little rectangular box above 92, it's talking to us about eighth notes and eighth rests. Eighth notes are not always in pairs. They can be single notes or single rests. Single eighth notes have a flag on the stem rather than a beam. So you can see the difference in how they look. A single eighth note has that flag. A single eighth rest also has a flag. So 93 is a clapping exercise, but I want to make sure that you understand how the counting works. So eighth notes have 2 eighth notes in every single beat in 4/4 time. So they're showing us in measure 1 that it says 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there's a note on every one of those, the ones and the numbers and the ands. In the next measure, there's an eighth note followed by an eighth note rest on each of those beats. So that means we're going to have a note on the numbered beats, but we're going to have a rest on the ands of each of those beats, which also is sometimes called the upbeat. In the third measure, we've got a pair of eighth notes, and then we've got a rest on beat 2. And then we're playing on the and, 3, and a rest on beat 4. So that makes kind of a trickier rhythm. And in the last measure, and this does repeat, so we'll go through it twice, we play on beat 1, we rest on and 2, we play on and 3, we rest on and 4, and then we play on the and. And this is going to go twice through because of the repeat sign. And we're going to, I'm going to play line A first. And so I'm going to say the beats and I'm going to clap the rhythm. So I'm going to keep talking through. I'm going to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but then my clapping is going to be just where the notes are written. So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it almost tricked me right in that second measure on the repeat. Practice that a few times, at least a few times, because it's a little bit tricky, but it's kind of fun to do, and hopefully you can do it along with the video. So line B, I will do the same thing. I'm going to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and line B is a little bit trickier because it has not only eighth notes, it has some quarter notes and some eighth notes and some eighth note rests. It also has a repeat. So a quarter note is going to take up 2 of those half beats. So in other words, the quarter note in the first measure is going to last for all of 1 and, right? And then there's a rest on 2. We play an eighth note on 3, and then we play another quarter note that's going to last 3 and. And then there's an eighth note rest on 4, and we play on the and of 4. So this one's going to be a little tricky. When we get to the third measure, we're going to rest on each of the numbered beats, and we're going to play on the ands. So let me just do measure 3 for you. So if I count off by going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if that makes sense, I'm playing on each of the upbeats, on each of, and resting on the downbeats of each of those numbered beats. So I'm going to start B. I'm going to go through it twice because I'm going to take the repeat, and I'll count off 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So hopefully that's going to make sense to you. A really good thing to practice to really kind of understand these rhythms. Some of them are kind of tricky. So same thing, we're going to do 94, which is another clapping duet. I'm going to do the lines separately. It does have a repeat sign, so I'm going to go through it twice. And now we've got eighth notes, quarter note rests, and eighth note rests. Okay, so we've got all of those rhythm values here. So I'm just going to go through this, so just be really careful that you see, and I'll count all the way through again while I'm clapping. Notice to hear and see the difference between quarter rests and eighth rests, and quarter notes and eighth notes. Okay, so this is line A of 94. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's 2 times through line A, and now I'm just going to go right through 2 times through line B, and if you notice, the second measure of line B has that measure repeat sign. So I'm going to do the first measure and then I'm going to do it again for the second measure. So I'll count off 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So hopefully that all makes sense. And if it doesn't, it would be a really good idea to circle any places in either 93A or B or 94A or B that you have questions about. And you can ask me or you can ask Mr. Gagnon to help you figure out if anything that you have questions about. So for the last thing on this page, I'm going to play number 95. This is forte. It's andante, right? So it's not too fast. It's kind of medium, kind of smooth. It does have some accents. So this says, now play the accents by using more air to make the accented notes louder. So I'll try to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that does not have a repeat, but I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do the last two measures, just so you hear. It's a little musical joke they put in there. Bum, ba, ba, bum, 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 right? That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, so that's number 5. That is all of page 24. I'm hoping that I might get to see you guys tomorrow if you're on the video chat. And in the meanwhile, I hope your mom's had a happy Mother's Day, and I hope you're doing really well. Bye.